This really has to stop, like just stop the ordinary, please. Hello, bonjour, beautiful people from YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Cyril. I used to be a stem cell researcher for quite some time, and this is why I can tell you about the science behind skincare ingredient. And can we just take a moment to admire the new lighting? Is it better? Tell me down below if you do like this new setting. I have spent like a lot of time like trying new settings for the background, for my face. I mean, I try to step up my game, so basically tell me if you do like it like this. So today, like girl, Mr. Sir Boy, we are going to talk about something that I find so damn annoying about the ordinary. Like, really, like the damn marketing, when it is there. So we are going to talk about the new powder. So they have the L-ascorbic powder that is not new. I have already a whole video about it where I'm basically tell you like, please don't buy it. Basically that's it. And now they have a new powder with niacinamide, and I'm like, oh boy, no, but why? So let's dive into today's video, and I'm very sorry if you hear some noise. My little neighbor, I say little because I think he's 6 years old or something like that, is jumping everywhere. Apparently he doesn't want to go to bed because, well, this is almost 9 p.m. and he's not in his bed. So yeah, sorry for this. Anyway, first thing first, before even just diving into the subject, every skincare product, like this one, that by the way I love, it will be in my next video, the beta-glucan from Ionic. I don't know, the Flawless Brightly Serum that I adore also will be in my next video. Those one are be done by chemists. Chemists are people that have done extensive studies about chemistry in order to formulate a skincare product. And why? Because it is so damn complicated to do it yourself at home. There is also another thing that most brands actually never disclose and never tell you, especially like the clean brand, you know, the organic brand that feed you with misinformation like, oh, there is toxic product, there are products that are dangerous in your skincare that are going to give you skin cancer, they're going to disrupt your hormones, and ooh la la, oh my god, so terrible. But well, guess what? There are regulations, and those regulations are done by who? By experts. So I'm not saying that the world of skincare is like perfect and etc. But what I mean is that chemists, they do know this. Each ingredient, they cannot be used just like this with whatever concentration. For each ingredient that you will find in your skincare product, there are actually a regulation that tells you how much you can use of them. And for some of them, the regulation is very tight. On top of this, there are certain actives that are clear scientific data to demonstrate how they are effective and the concentration to be effective, and for a good reasons. So let's start with vitamin C, for example. So vitamin C is L-ascorbic acid. I am always telling you this because, oh boy, again, so many brands advertise like, hi, like Naturium, I'm sorry, but that is true, that tells you like it contains vitamin C. I read the ingredient list and I'm like, no way, the vitamin C. The French brand SVR, they also have one product, it's the Hydra Acid C20, something like that. They give you like vitamin C. I'm like, where the damn vitamin C? Typology, which is another French brand that I'm not a big fan of. It's a sort of pretty dupe of the ordinary, but it's not. Also, they have a vitamin C serum. I'm like, where is the vitamin C? Again, why? Because they use derivative of vitamin C. It is not the same thing. For the real stuff, so L-ascorbic acid, which probably is the most potent antioxidant that we have, the best one is, of course, sunscreen because it prevents free radicals. But anyway, L-ascorbic acid is effective at maximum between 10 and 20%. After 20%, apparently it is not. The other issue is that L-ascorbic acid, hence its name, is an acid. So it means that when it will be diluted in water, it will release protons, and protons are what they are, acid, and acids can burn your skin. There are other major problems with this. When you are going to dissolve your vitamin C, depending on what you are going to use, so if it does not have a high content of water, you will still have like some granules of L-ascorbic acid, and therefore the dilution will not be optimal. You will still have some crystals of vitamin C that are going to burn your skin because you will have like those tiny patches of very high concentrate of vitamin C. The other thing that I also really dislike about this is that how can you, like, in a practical way in your day-to-day basis, really use like the correct dose? Because yes, you need like 50% or 20%. So unless you have like your little tiny lab, like for example, La Muffin Beauty Science, which I really love her. She has a video dedicated to how to use this powder to make a 15% L-ascorbic acid. So in that case, I mean, why not? But you need to weight your product. You also need to use purified water, like don't use any water, because you can have contamination with bacteria. I mean, the simple thing like just breathing, you can contaminate everything. I used to do a lot of cell culture, and let me tell you, like tiny drops of everything can contaminate and ruin everything. This is exactly the same when you are doing when you are making a skincare product, and this is also why chemists, they also spend a lot of time with the stability of the product, but also simply to prevent the growth of unwanted bacteria and yeast and fungus and etc. And you certainly do not want those stuff on your face, and etc. and etc. So really, that I really dislike this. The other main issue is, of course, like I have said many times, is the pH. If the pH is incorrect, what is going to happen is that most likely the antioxidant properties of the vitamin C, you will lose them. And finally, you have excellent L-ascorbic acid based product on the market, and some of them, they are so affordable, like the Geek and Gorgeous, the one that I'm using in my morning routine, the Siglo. And yes, I will film a whole video dedicated to Geek and Gorgeous. You also have the one from Paula Choate, the C15. It is way more expensive, but it is also an excellent one. You have the Timeless that I've never tried yet, but just by looking at the ingredients, I'm like, yes, it seems really well formulated. So why even bother and taking the risk? So this is the first thing with L-ascorbic acid. Now with niacinamide. With niacinamide, it is exactly the same thing. Niacinamide, when you look at the study about niacinamide, basically the concentration of use that is published to see that it has an effect on the skin, it is basically between 2 to 5%. It is not even 10%. I've never encountered any scientific data, I mean papers that use even 10% of niacinamide. Does it necessarily mean that that 10% is going to ruin your face? Of course not, of course not. But it is for a reason. This is also the same thing. When the chemists are formulated with niacinamide, they cannot use like every damn concentration on the market. And guess what? And this is something that I've learned also from La Muffin. When you buy the niacinamide powder from The Ordinary, the little spoon that they give you is like 1/4 of a teaspoon or something like that. So a crazy amount of niacinamide. I'm like, again, why? But why? And also you have so many, like I have said, like exactly like for L-ascorbic acid, you have so many good serums that are well formulated with a proper concentration of niacinamide. So why even bother with them? A good example is again the one from Geek and Gorgeous. If you want to indulge in 10% of niacinamide, go and buy the one from Geek and Gorgeous, and you know that the formula will be stable. It will also be long-lasting in the way that it's not going to be contaminated with whatever, that it will also simply compatible with the rest of the formula, because even though niacinamide is very stable, you can never know. It is always better to rely on a proper product that has been designed by a specialist, aka a chemist. To end this video, I really dislike this sort of trend, you know, the trend of always more and more. There are so many brands that instead of using like 20% of vitamin C, they want to come with 23%, because it looks like better for the marketing, because more is more. No, more is not more. What is always relevant is what are the scientific data about what active and what is the proper concentration, because remember something, people, the dose make the poison, and this is true for everything. So that is basically it for today. Like we say in French, it was my coup de gueule, like no. And basically that's it. So if you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also comment down below and tell me what you thought about this video. Again, thank you so much for being here. Really. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to ring the bell, because you do not want to miss any of my new videos. You can also check my 2 Instagram accounts, one in English and one in French. I also have a French YouTube channel now. Hooray, hoo la la. And basically that's it. Au revoir.